Hi Jess! This video is coming to you from a few feet to the right because of this thing. Yes, that is a real treat, and yes, it's my first one ever. Sometime we'll get around to putting ornaments on it. Thanks so much for showing me clips of your competition. It sounds so exciting. I'm really glad to hear that you're enjoying robotics, even though it's something you've never done before. I always think it's fun to discover something new that you love that you've never tried before. But even I would never think, robotics, that sounds like something I would enjoy. I think it's really amazing how you just embraced it and said, okay, we're doing this, and you did it. So congratulations on your victories, and I hope the next competition goes really well. As I mentioned in the description of my last video, last week was performance week for the Messiah. For Nicole and I, this meant 2 really long practices and 2 long performances, and it was a whole lot of work. It was a big challenge for me because it's a very difficult piece and I had never heard most of it before. So I was pretty much sight reading everything for the first month. But it all came together in the end and I am so glad I did it. And both your robotics experience and my experience singing the Messiah got me thinking about something that happens in my brain once in a while. I think I've mentioned before that I have a lot of different passions. I like doing a lot of different things. But sometimes I wonder, should I just pick one thing to be my main focus, the thing that I do all the time and get really good at? I think I notice this the most when I'm around music people. These are always people that know way more about music than me and are way better at playing instruments than I am. Because of my field, music and worship, I've been around them a lot at conferences and at things like the Messiah, and I do love talking to them because I am so interested in music. However, when I am around them, I often feel a little inferior because I have not spent the time practicing and learning like they have, and sometimes I even feel like a bit of a poser, like, oh, you're a music person, so what do you do? Usually the difference between me and these quote-unquote music people is that they spend way more of their time practicing and learning about music than I do. But I do really love playing music. I love playing my guitar, I love singing, and I love learning about music and music history. So why don't I spend all my time doing that? I do love music, but as you saw in my favorite things video, I also love crocheting, reading, watching TV and movies, and all kinds of other things. My practically endless reading list has some music and worship books on it, but it also has literature and theology books and YA fiction and a ton of other random things because there is just so much that I want to learn about. In theory, if I wanted to get really good at music and just focus on that, then I could spend all of my time practicing keyboard and guitar and get good at those. And I could study music theory and history and listen to all kinds of music. And then I maybe wouldn't feel so out of place around music people. But in practice, I just know I could never do that. I could never pick just one of my passions if it meant giving up all of the others. If I'm ever feeling down about this, Erin always reminds me that while I may not be the best at anything, I have a lot of diversity in my passions and my abilities, and I do love that about myself. I count all of my passions as part of who I am, part of my identity. So giving up even one thing would really be like giving up a part of me. So I guess what I really need to do is not just pick one thing to get really good at, but I should learn to accept that maybe I won't ever be the very best, like no one ever was. I'm happy with the way I am, and that's even better than being the best. Thanks for listening. I love you so much, and I will see you on Monday.